Welcome to Sutichai Live English Podcast. The latest NIDA Poll, which came out today, must spark very controversial debate among political observers because Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra seems to have suffered a very serious setback in the poll, having dropped from number 1 in the last poll a quarter ago to number 5 today, while the opposition leader Teng Nattapong Ruangpanyawut has surged to number 1 with a big gap between the two. And between number 1, the opposition leader, and number 5, the Prime Minister, there are former Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha, who is number 3. Number 4 is the leader of the Phum Chai Thai Party, who just left the coalition government. This latest poll will give the Pheu Thai Party, which is headed by Prime Minister Paetongtarn, some serious soul-searching indeed. There have been calls for the government to dissolve parliament for a new election. But with such low popularity, Prime Minister Paetongtarn is not in a position to take that step. So we are facing a political dilemma. When the Prime Minister, who is now facing difficulties on all sides and underscored by the serious drop in popularity, will have to think very hard on how to survive as Prime Minister, or if that fails, whether she would decide to dissolve Parliament and return power to the people. Let's see what the NIDA polls actually say about the reasons behind this dramatic change in the popularity standing of the Prime Minister. Here is Ping and Pong, my AI team, who have dug into details of the poll. Hi, Ping and Pong.
Welcome to Sutichai Live's English Podcast. We are Sutichai's AI team. I am Ping.
And I am Pong.
Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and really get to the heart of the information you need to know. Today, we're digging into some really compelling data. It's the latest quarterly political popularity survey from NIDA Poll, just out this week. Our mission today, let's unpack this, pull out the key insights, and really try to understand the surprising shifts we're seeing in Thai political sentiment right now. You know, the big question seems to be, is Thailand genuinely looking at a major political shift, or are we just seeing a temporary dip for the traditional players?
That's exactly the right question to ask now. In this deep dive, it's grounded in solid data from the NIDA Poll. In NIDA, the National Institute of Development Administration, they're a very well-respected survey center here in Thailand.
That's very credible.
Yeah. And this specific survey, the quarterly political popularity survey for Q2 2568, that's 2025, gives us a really fresh snapshot. It was done very recently, June 19th to 25th, 2025, and it's based on 2,500 respondents.
Okay, a good sample size.
A very good size, yeah, across all regions of Thailand, too. And importantly, their methodology, multi-stage sampling, high confidence level, 97%. It means these findings are pretty reliable.
So we can trust the numbers, basically.
Within a very small margin of error, yes. It gives us a solid base for, figuring out what's going on.
Good, because that robustness is key, especially with the kind of shifts this poll seems to show. Let's jump right into maybe the most watched numbers. Who do people actually want as Prime Minister? And the results, well, they show some clear preferences, and honestly, the biggest story here has to be the surge from an opposition figure.
Absolutely.
Leading the pack, and by quite a margin, is Nattapong Ruangpanyawut from the People's Party. He's at 31.48%.
Wow, that's significant.
It really is. And according to the poll, the reasons people are giving, they see him as a new generation person, someone who, dares to speak out, has clear, modern ideas, and is direct about his political stance.
Yeah. That's more than just a strong showing. It really signals potentially a big shift in what voters are looking for. NIDA Poll being right at the top like that suggests a real public appetite for leaders seen as, well, genuinely new, direct, maybe modern in their thinking.
A break from the norm.
Possibly. It could reflect, a fatigue with the usual political structures, maybe a desire for something definitively different, not just a new face in the same old system. His rise seems to capture this yearning for fresh perspectives, straightforward talk. It definitely makes you wonder, are we seeing a fundamental change in what Thai voters prioritize in leadership?
I think that's the core question, isn't it? But here's where it gets even more interesting, maybe even complicated. Because when you look further down that list, you see a very, very different story for someone many considered a frontrunner, or at least a major contender. Mrs. Batontarn Shinawatra, Onging, from Futai. Mm-hmm. Despite her profile, despite the party, she's actually in 5th place for PM support, just 9.20%.
That's quite a drop, relatively speaking.
It is. And the poll explains her support by saying people see her as dedicated, working hard despite, quote, limited experience, and they want to give her an opportunity to show what she can do administratively.
Right.
That's a huge contrast to Naithapon's backing, isn't it? And it really raises questions about Fudai's current standing, too.
It certainly does. Her placement, the 5th is still top 5, but it points to a specific set of public views about her potential and maybe some hurdles. The reasons given dedication, wanting to give her a chance, it sounds like a vote based on hope, perhaps, a willingness to see what happens.
Like potential rather than proven delivery yet.
Exactly. But her much lower standing compared to Naithapong, who clearly represents this anti-establishment or new wave sentiment, suggests voters are weighing things up. They're weighing her potential against maybe her perceived lack of experience, especially when there's this alternative option promising something completely fresh and direct. It shows that dynamic potential versus track record, especially when a new future option is on the table.
That's a really key point. Different candidates being judged by different yardsticks, it seems. And what's also really striking, I think, is the number of people who just aren't picking anyone yet.
Ah, the undecideds.
Yeah. After Naithapong, the second biggest group, at 19.88%, said they haven't found a suitable candidate. Almost 1 in 5 people.
That's huge. Nearly 20%.
What does that tell us? That chunk of undecided voters?
Well, that near 20% isn't just noise. It's a massive swing vote, right? A segment of the population that could be really responsive to campaigning or events or policy debates in the coming months.
So the game isn't over by any means?
Not at all. It could mean people are disillusioned with the current options, or maybe they're just being cautious, waiting for someone who really clicks with them. It means there's a lot to play for.
Okay, that makes sense. Those voters could really be kingmakers.
Yeah.
Just to round out the top PM contenders quickly, we do see some familiar names still pulling support. General Prayat Chan-o-cha, the former PM, he gets 12.72%. Reasons given are things like he speaks and acts truly, straightforward, honest, brought peace.
Mm-hmm. Stability-focused reasons.
Then Anutin Sharnvirakul from Phumjaitai, he's got 9.64%.
Right.
People see him as decisive and having experience running the country.
Experience and decisiveness, okay.
Further down, Pirapan Salaratavipaga, United Thai Nation, 6.48%.
Mm-hmm.
Admired for being trustworthy, decisive, having legal know-how. Kunying Siddharite Kirafan, Thai Sang Thai Party, 6.12%. Supported for her clear stance, government experience, straightforward work.
Right, experience again.
And General Prawit Wongsuan, Pulang Prakrath, polls 1.48%. People noting his decisiveness, trustworthiness, problem-solving ability.
What's really striking when you list them all out like that is just how varied the reasons are.
Yeah, it's a real mix.
From Naithapong's new ideas and directness to Prayat's perceived honesty and stability, Anutin's decisiveness. It shows the Thai electorate isn't looking for just one thing.
Different groups want different qualities.
Exactly. It's a complex picture. Different segments prioritizing very different leadership traits. And it probably underscores the political divisions still present, highlighting the challenge for any future government trying to satisfy everyone.
Okay, so that's the individual picture.
Yeah.
How does this translate into party support?
Yeah.
And Idea also asked about that.
Right, the party popularity.
And the results here, well, they really seem to echo the individual numbers, especially for the opposition. Way out in front with a massive 46.08% support is the People's Party.
Wow. Nearly half.
Yeah, nearly half the respondents.
That's quite something. And if you put it in context, that huge lead for the People's Party lines up perfectly with their top candidate, Nathapong.
It suggests a strong connection there.
Absolutely. It points to a really cohesive voter base that sees eye to eye on the party's platform and its main figures. Strong brand approval, you could say. And it shows how support seems to be consolidating around the specific ideas and people the People's Party represents right now. It's a very dominant position for them at this point. Suggests a real potential shift or consolidation happening.
It definitely looks like a clear preference, at least for now. Following the People's Party, the next is the United Thai Nation Party at 13.24%. And then, interestingly, the Pheu Thai Party comes in third at 11.52%.
Third place for Pheu Thai.
Yeah, which is notable, right?
Yeah.
Especially seeing Ms. Patongtarn at fifth individually. It really signals a challenge for a party that's historically been such a major force.
It does. A potential disconnect or maybe just a tougher environment for them right now.
Then we have Bumja Thai Party at 9.76%. And again, look, undecided on party is 7.72%. Still a significant chunk.
Still a meaningful number unsure about party allegiance, yes.
Then Thai Sang Thai Party at 4.2%, Pawang Prakarath at 2.88%, and the Democrat Party at 2.68%.
You know, that huge gap between the leading People's Party and everyone else, it really makes you ask, what's driving that?
Right. Why such a big difference?
It suggests either a major realignment of political loyalties is underway, or perhaps the People's Party has just managed to tap into this widespread desire for change more effectively than others, including traditional giants like Pheu Thai, who might be struggling to capture that same mood right now. The gap itself is significant, not just who's leading.
And those undecided party voters.
Same story as the individual choice, really. Still a pool of voters up for grabs. Party loyalties might not be as fixed as they once were. People are still evaluating.
So this NIDA poll, it's given us a really fascinating and, sometimes surprising look at where Thai voters are right now. It's genuinely insightful seeing what qualities, which parties are clicking with the public, especially that dramatic rise of Nathapong and the People's Party, and seeing the challenges faced by established names like Ms. Patongtarn and Pheu Thai in this current climate.
Absolutely. And understanding these preferences, not just the who, but the why behind the support that's so important for anyone following Thai politics, or just interested in how citizens' expectations of their leaders and parties might be evolving. It paints a picture of a dynamic electorate, doesn't it? With clear demands and hopes, pushing for something they see as a new direction.
So that wraps up our deep dive into the latest NID poll results. It seems pretty clear that a large part of the Thai public is looking for fresh faces, new ideas. Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. What do these shifting preferences really signal for the long-term future of political leadership in Thailand? Are we genuinely seeing a fundamental power shift, a reorientation? Or is this maybe a temporary wave born from current frustrations that the established forces could still navigate and potentially overcome? Something to keep thinking about as Thailand's political story keeps unfolding. Thanks for following Suthachai Live English Podcast. I am Ping.
And I am Bong. Stay tuned for the next episode.
And thank you for following Suthachai Live English Podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode.